I want to have a conversation with you about fair credit lines of credit that pull Experian. So basically right now, if you think that your Experian credit report is kind of clean or your Experian credit score is kind of clean and you're looking for a fair credit line of credit, here is the video you want to watch. So the first lender that you want to really talk about, that you want to think about, is PNC. Of course, you need to qualify, you need to be in the geography that PNC covers, but if you are in that geography, that's really good. You're really good to go. And so PNC is really a great lender when it comes to a fair credit line of credit, and they pull Experian all the time. Now you're not getting $100,000 from PNC. You're not getting $50,000. They give you maximum $25,000. But it is still something, right? So if you're interested in that opportunity, what you want to do today, you want to start actually you want to open a bank account right now with PNC, because this will help you a lot in terms of securing, like, at least you need to build the rapport, you need to build the relationship that you can use later on to get this line of credit. Again, the line of credit is it goes from $1,000 all the way to $25,000. Now, that's a bummer, is that if you are in California, the maximum line of credit amount is $5,000. So you can't really get anything above that. But hey, listen, it is what it is. It has to do with some regulatory limits that they have, because you know that banking in the States is actually handled at the state level. So banking in this country is actually handled at the state level. So every state has the regulatory authority to actually oversee banking. So it has to do with that. So yeah, just a little parenthesis here. So $1,000 to $25,000, fair credit, not a problem. If you have anything above 580 all the way to 680, 690, not a problem at all. So the line of credit I'm talking to you about, this is unsecured. So you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pledge anything at all. Not a problem. And you can apply online, not a problem also. But if you want to, you can also apply at the branch, or you can apply over the phone. If you want to apply over the phone, you can actually call right now 1-877-225-5762. 1-877-225-5762. Just fantastic. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. So the thing with PNC is that you have the unsecured line of credit, and there are some cases where maybe you do not qualify for the line of credit, right? And you might want to maybe think about getting the personal installment loan instead. So PNC also offers a personal installment loan. The amounts are similar. I mean, no, not similar, sorry. On the personal installment loan, PNC is a little more generous. So you are getting anywhere from $1,000 all the way to $35,000, and you have to repay this from like maximum 5 years. In some cases, they might give you 7 years. So this is something that you need to think about, because you might actually go and apply for the personal line of credit, and you say, okay, you know what, we apologize for your financials to not really go in your favor, and you might be like, oh wow, I need the cash anyway. So yeah, basically, instead of having a line of credit, you get the personal loan. Either way, you get all the money up front. You get both money up front anyway, right? So both loan amounts. So line of credit or loans, you get the money up front. What I want to say here is that this is something that's very important to really remember. If you are let's say you are looking for a line of credit through PNC, you need to actually anytime you want to do a balance transfer, you need to do a minimum amount of $50. So this is important. Otherwise, you have to pay fees, because PNC wants to make sure the whole operation is profitable to them too. It has to add value to the bottom line. Otherwise, it's not really worth it. Another thing I need to mention here is that with PNC, you do have, like, if you are a service member, if you are a current or retired member of the military, PNC wants you. PNC will take care of you. PNC actually has a service for you. It's called the SCRA department, the Service Members Civil Relief Act Department, and they have an entire system in place to kind of take care of you. If you have more questions, just call them right now at 844 PNC SCRA, 844-762-7272, or just email right now, servicemembers@pnc.com. So any questions that you have, PNC will actually work with you. They'll take care of you, not a problem. And if you can also fax them any information that you have at 1-855-568-4532. So you have options if you are a service member. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about fair credit, lines of credit that pull Experian. Another lender that you might want to consider if you are looking for a fair credit line of credit that pull Experian is Fifth Third Bank. So with Fifth Third, and I've said this before, we love the fact that Fifth Third is really flexible. We love the fact that Fifth Third will actually approve you whether you have bad credit or fair credit, as long as you have the relationship with them. And so Fifth Third actually has this particularity that it is very generous. It is really generous. Obviously, there is a caveat here. So Fifth Third will approve you like up to $100,000. See, all the lenders that we have reviewed in our research, they actually will cap you at $25,000. There are one or two credit unions that will actually approve you all the way to $50,000. We're talking about personal line of credit. So Fifth Third is the only outlier in this sense, because it is actually approving you up to $100,000. But hey, listen, this is really good. This is really good. And with Fifth Third, you can get line of credit amounts from $5,000 all the way to $100,000. This is unsecured, of course. But the only caveat is that Fifth Third wants you to post up to 10% of verified liquid assets. So those assets must be liquid. In other words, they must be able to be converted into cash real fast. Because Fifth Third is really sort of covering its ass here by making sure that you do have something. You have some liquidity just in case. So this is kind of cool. And one thing we love about this Fifth Third product also is that, so you have the unsecured line of credit, but you also have the secured line of credit. So you can collateralize, you can use, let's say, a Fifth Third savings account, CD account, or investment account to collateralize the line of credit. So if this is the case, you can borrow anywhere from $5,000 all the way to $500,000. So depending, of course, upon the volume or the size of your assets, right? Because you are the one who has the collateral here. So if you have any question about this Fifth Third products, you can call right now. You can call 1-866-671-5353. Again, the number is 1-866-671-5353. Another something else I want to talk about Fifth Third is that Fifth Third is kind of similar to PNC. Sometimes you can apply for a line of credit and they might actually deny your application for any reason. I mean, you can't. Sometimes you don't know what's really happening. So if that's the case, you can actually resort to applying for a personal loan. And the personal loan application process is a little less strict than the line of credit. So when we talk about Fifth Third personal loan options, you have actually two options, sort of similar to what you had with the line of credit. So you have the loan itself, and then you have the unsecured loan, and then you have the secured loan. So for the unsecured loan, they call it signature loan. So if you're ever hanging out at Fifth Third and they talk about signature loan, you know that they mean personal loan, unsecured, of course. And so this here, you are able to borrow anywhere from $2,000 all the way to $50,000, 50. And this is unsecured. And for the secure loan, you can borrow anywhere from $2,000 all the way to $500,000. So the range is kind of similar to what you had with the line of credit option as soon as you collateralize it. And one thing I also need to say here is that it's just a lot better to work with Fifth Third on a long-term basis, because Fifth Third, similar to all those regional banks such as Key Bank, such as PNC, such as TD, such as Capital One, they want to actually build a long-term relationship with you. So you have to look at not just as a one-time personal loan experience, but something really over the long run. So the question is, how can you add value to Fifth Third, and how can they add value to you? So when you are thinking about getting a loan from them, for instance, think about, when you need a signature loan, okay, they will give you $2,000 to $50,000, and you can repay that loan over 12 to 60 months. Okay, but then again, after that, what happens? This is where I'm just telling you need to have a plan. So what about the secure loan? The secure loan, you get anywhere from $2,000 to to a half a million. Okay. And but you have terms available 12 to 60 months. Okay. Well, what else? What else are you thinking about? What else do you want to have? Like, kind of information you're trying to have. This is really important to understand the possibilities here. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about fair credit, lines of credit that pull Experian. So if you are interested in that topic, you might want to continue listening to this show. Another bank that I want to talk to you about that offers fair credit lines of credit that pulls Experian is BMO Harris. So when you think about BMO Harris, I want you to think about a lender that's very flexible. Now, that lender will do a lot of things to kind of help you out. And what we love about BMO Harris is that you are able to borrow all the way to $50,000, but you need to have the relationship. Now, BMO Harris is more geo-restricted than PNC and Fifth Third. In other words, BMO Harris is in a fewer number of states. But we are really crossing our fingers because BMO actually recently acquired Bank of the West. So Bank of the West was a biggie in California and in other places. So hopefully once the integration is done, once the merger is done and everything is fine, we'll be able to get more access to more branches. So at that point, BMO will become a regional Goliath. Right now, it's more like a regional David, if you were to allow this analogy. So when we talk about BMO Harris and a fair credit lines of credit that pulls Experian, because BMO Harris does pull Experian, you are able to get like anywhere from $2,000 all the way to $50,000, and you can get rates from 6% for 6 months, or 8.24% if you want to go like thereafter after 6 months. So this is really great. And one thing I also need to mention about BMO Harris is that you can use the line of credit for nearly anything. You can use the cash to purchase a new car, renovate your home, or handle their large upcoming expenses that you really are thinking about, right? It's all about flexibility. So if you go with BMO Harris, it's all about flexibility. It's all about you getting the resources that you need to do exactly what you have to do. And it's one of those things I'm just asking because BMO is well run. It's a solid company. It is a great company. And really, it's really important to understand what is really happening to BMO right now. So if you're looking for a fair credit line of credit, think about BMO. But with BMO, please, you want to apply a little early. So if you need the cash, do not actually think you will be approved right away. It takes time. They actually love their underwriting process. They love to ask questions. They'll ask you tons of questions before they approve you. So just be aware of that. In case you might think about, I have time, and once they approve, I'll get my answers right away. It doesn't happen that way. I want to share with you another app/platform that allows you to get a fair credit line of credit that pulls Experian, and this is Tally. I want to introduce you to Tally. So what we love about Tally is that Tally actually gives you a lot of flexibility. And first of all, you can get up to $4,500 for a line of credit. And the bottom line here is that you are able to save money. You're able to repay whatever you have to repay. I mean, do you currently have a credit card? Do you have a credit card that you're trying to really wipe off, like your credit? Then maybe this is the right time to actually repay whatever you owe on those credit cards. Or do you have loans that you have to pay off? So those are elements that are really important. With Tally, you can get anywhere from $300 all the way to $4,500. This is really cool, and you are able to get a low APR line of credit real fast. And Tally is actually paying attention to your account every single day to see what works or what doesn't work. And one thing I want to say here is that when we speak about Tally, we have to speak about the fact that Tally is doing something that a lot of folks want to have, which is really basically paying off credit card debts. I mean, it's just crazy. And the thing is that you want to analyze your credit profile to determine if you can have a line of credit through Tally, because Tally will look at your credit profile. So if you have fair credit, you qualify. If you have fair credit, you qualify. So anything above 580, you will qualify, not a problem. Tally will also pay attention to other stuff. For example, let's say your incoming cash flow. So we're talking about your cash inflows versus your cash outflows. What's the delta? What is the frequency? What is the consistency? Tally needs to see some kind of consistency before approving you, and this is what they have done. They've been doing this over the board, like consistently. They need to see something. If not, they're not going to actually approve you. But overall, this is a great app to give you the cash you need real fast. I want to share with you another app that is a fair credit line of credit that pulls Experian, and it's called Elastic. So Elastic does something similar to Tally, basically. In other words, it gives you an amount that goes all the way to $4,500. And so what we love about Tally and Elastic is that they are not lenders. They're not bank lenders, because when you think about a line of credit, you only have lenders and credit unions that have that service. And right now, very gradually, there are players that are entering that space and starting to disrupt the whole thing. So you can get a personal line of credit also from a non-bank institution. So for instance, if you have an app that really helps you out, or right now the ability for you to borrow without actually having a credit score check, this is really good. This is really good. You're able to rearrange your life. You're able. I mean, I'm speaking about your financial life. You are able to see things that really matter. So just remember, with Elastic, you have to repay whatever you charge, and the fees could really add up real fast. So it's important for you to see. You have to, when you close your eyes, you need to have a clear idea about the goal you pursue, and based on that, you can make a decision and say, you know what, this is actually good for me. This is not good for me. And also, another thing I want to mention here is that you need to understand with Elastic, you need to really make sure that you're actually holding the baby in a certain way, because you don't want to hold the baby like this. Like, let's say you are trying to get like a line of credit for adoption purposes, right? Let's say you want to get like you want to adopt a baby, and you and your wife and your husband are looking for a line of credit. The good thing is that you can get a real fast line of credit through Elastic, and really take care of everything real fast. So we're talking about unexpected expenses as soon as tomorrow, or you want to do some kind of like you want to do an adoption, or you have a baby shower, or you have a vacation or wedding, whatever. You need to actually be very clear about what you need the money for. And Elastic will take care of you, will give you the cash real fast. You can get the money as soon as tomorrow, but don't forget that you're going to have to pay exorbitant fees anyway. So it is what it is. All right, thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm just talking to you about fair credit lines of credit that pull Experian. And so I give you a PNC, of course, Fifth Third Bank, we have BMO Harris, we have Tally, and we have Elastic. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.